Walnuts have omega-3 fatty acids, which is really good for our brain health. If you want to lose weight, you have to decrease your calories. So there's simplex carbs and there's complex carbs. A packet after packet of sugar in his coffee. I was like, no.
हाय दोस्तों, क्या हाल चाल है? जॉनी हियर। आज मेरे साथ हैं जेसिका, जो कि मेरी दोस्त है और उन्होंने डाइटिशियन का कोर्स किया है एंड हमारा ये कॉन्वर्सेशन हम लोग इंग्लिश में रिकॉर्ड करेंगे. दैट्स व्हाट शी अंडरस्टैंड्स. So we are going to talk in English and I'm just going to introduce Jessica. This podcast is on diet and food. So do you want to tell something about you?
Sure, yes. So I've known Jayesh for a few years now. We actually met while I was going to school majoring in nutrition, and we were also doing some activism work for Greenpeace and a few other projects.
Right. That was fun.
Yeah.
Actually, in fact, Jessica is vegan. I don't know if you're still vegan or not.
I'd like to call myself plant-based.
Plant-based.
Today I'm like more vegetarian.
Right. And actually, honestly, that is very India-friendly because in India, we tend to take a lot of like cow milk and buffalo milk and a lot of like milk-based products are extremely popular. But most of India, I would say at least like 40 to 50% of India is vegetarian. So what's your recommendation for a simple a regular person who just wants to be healthy? But hey, I'm going to have a healthy day today.
Right.
I should eat these things.
I would say try to have something citrusy every day. Try to include iron in the diet every single day. Things that have a lot of iron in it is spinach, broccoli, beans, and actually it absorbs in your body a lot faster if you pair it up with like an orange or some kind of type of vitamin C. I mean, you don't have to eat it at the same time, but if you eat it on the same day, your body does absorb the iron better. And vitamin C is good for your immune system anyways. So like, having a spinach salad with some lemon on it or some tangerines or something like that, I think that would be really good. And that always helps me feel clean after too. And including some type of nuts or seeds. Walnuts have omega-3 fatty acids, which is really good for our brain health. And if you're hungry, and you're working, it's like a really good snack instead of going for chips. Helps keep you focused and stuff like that.
Do you think overall vegetarian is a healthier diet than non-vegetarian, especially because some of the protein-based stuff is sometimes considered somewhat lacking in vegetarian stuff. So what are your high-level thoughts on that?
Just, making sure you're getting your proteins in. If you don't have access to any of the fake meats, like eating a lot of rice and beans and broccoli and stuff like that. And obviously fruits every day, getting the carbs in.
Indian people typically like to have a hot breakfast and not really cold breakfasts. What do you think about eggs? Are they healthy in the first place? Should you eat eggs with something to make it slightly more healthy? What do you think about that?
Make some type of veggie omelet. Bell peppers also have vitamin C. Do you guys have bell peppers there?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe some onions, some spinach, and
we call it capsicum here. Bell pepper, we call it capsicum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I would say just, start with that and, play around with the portions until, is that what you typically eat as well?
I do. Like I prefer eating an omelet or some form of like scrambled eggs with some
Yeah.
veggies. That's my go-to thing. For a lot of people who don't eat eggs, oatmeal, they tend to cook it in a way where it's like hot, make it a little bit salty, because one of the things people do with oatmeal is that they put a lot of sugar in it. So if you make it salty and tasty,
Yeah.
it makes more sense. But I think oats are not a good source of proteins or anything, right?
Well, I mean, it's actually like heart healthy. A lot of people that have diseases like they're diabetic or they have some kind of heart disease, they usually get put on a diet which includes oats in the morning.
Right.
And so I think it is kind of a good go-to breakfast. And if you
Right.
add other things in it, you can make it even better.
Sometimes I do have like cottage cheese and then use that instead of eggs, for instance, to get your proteins.
Okay.
Um,
Like
and
just
some
as
people,
a full meal?
as a breakfast thing, like
Huh.
along with some fruits, maybe maybe oats if you want. Because like if you just eat fruits and oats, you may not get the required
Right.
proteins, I think.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so
Yeah.
sometimes I do that. In fact, I was doing it in the last few days.
I think that that's a great idea actually, especially if that's something that's easy to access over there. So there's simplex carbs and there's complex carbs. And simple carbs are actually easier to break down. They're pretty healthy for you. It's like eating an apple or something like that. The complex
Mm.
carbs are like your pastas and stuff like that. It takes longer to break down. That's why usually like long distance runners, they'll eat like a huge bowl of spaghetti for dinner the night before a race or a meet
Oh,
because
I see.
they'll have that like extra energy in their body the next day.
We tend to make a lot of like chapatis and rotis here, which is unprocessed wheat. Is that simplex carb or is that complex, do you think?
I would say it's part of the complex. Yeah.
Okay. So what would be an example or two of simplex carbs?
It's the simple ones is more like your fruits. It breaks down a lot quicker. There's fiber in it. It'll get you going quickly. So figure out your weight and like use a calorie count based on that. Um, Obviously, if you want to lose weight, you have to decrease your calories. If you want to gain weight, you have to eat more calories, and that might include eating more carbs as well.
Cooking, right? So you mentioned that if you cook like a stew or a soup or something, then the liquid, the gravy, um, will have a lot of nutrients coming out of potato or beans or whatever, right? Um, and my question is that what do you think about eating like a boiled vegetable versus like a properly cooked vegetable with spices and with cooking in water maybe? Um,
When you're cooking vegetables, I think the healthiest way is to saute it
mm,
in low heat, or not low heat, but like make sure it's not too high, and make sure that you don't have like a lot of oil or a lot of water.
mm, I see,
Because
I see.
like I was saying earlier, if you add in like too much liquid, what happens is the nutrients from that vegetable go into the oil or the water or whatever, especially if the
Right,
heat is really high, then it
right.
loses like pretty much all of its nutrients.
The fruits tend to have a lot of sugar. Even like oranges have sugar. So I tend to eat a lot of oranges, like maybe three or four every day.
Yeah.
Uh, what do you think? Like, there's some limit, right? It's kind of like I know fruits are all healthy, but like, what do you think about the sugar in the fruits, and how should we think about it?
Yeah, so like we were talking about, how it's broken down. Um, it's obviously completely different than the sugar you would find in candy or something like that,
Right, right,
because of the fact that it has nutrients and it also has fiber, which
right,
people don't know fiber is what makes you go poop.
right,
um,
right. Roughage. It's roughage, and it's very important. Yeah.
right. So, I mean, I think it is a good thing to activate your body, your digestive system, and all of that stuff. Um, I mean, unless you're going on a completely fruitarian diet or something like that, I don't really think that like there's should be a worry about eating too much because most people don't anyways.
Sugar in general, right? I mean, people in India tend to eat a lot of sugar apart from the fruits. And what I'm worried about, even from in my house here, a lot of sugar eaten in tea, coffee,
Mm.
even like sweets.
Yeah.
And then people tend to eat a lot of sweets in India.
Yeah.
You have some technical insights into why sugar is so harmful, and also like how much should we eat?
I think that's a problem here in America too, actually.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
people just kind of sneak it into their coffee. I saw, my husband do it the other day. I just saw him like put packet after packet of sugar in his coffee. I was like, no, don't do
So
that.
is honey better than cane sugar or brown sugar to be put in tea or coffee?
Yeah, the chemical molecules are a little bit different than sugar, like actual processed sugar.
Right.
It is a little bit healthier, but I would say like still just try to keep it to 1 or 2 spoonfuls and not more than
Wow.
that.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was reading somewhere that honey is not good if you drink it in a warm liquid.
Mm-hmm.
It might get toxic, I heard somewhere.
Right.
So, um, so I was like, okay, it's kind of confusing now because
Right.
I don't want to drink toxic, but I don't want sugar. So I guess one or two, like I'm trying to cut it down to like one packet, like one
Right.
teaspoonful per coffee or tea. So moving on from the coffee, right? You were saying something about other stuff. What do you think about other things we should avoid in terms of sugar? Because I think sugar is a really key. It's really the key which is screwing up the health of the people out here.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. And companies sneak it into a lot of stuff, like even like packaged cereals, packaged whatever. So, just even staying away from things that are packaged and just trying to focus on like real food
Right.
is pretty key. One thing that I do that I think is helpful is like just eating like a tiny bit. So if
Right.
I buy one chocolate bar, a small chocolate bar like from Whole Foods or whatever, it'll last me about a week. If Eric finds it, it'll only last one day. But
Right.
I've learned to like just like have a little piece like after dinner or whatever, at whatever time of the day, whenever I feel like it, like just a little piece.
Mm.
And then, just go do it like that instead of, eating it all at once.
Like sugar used to be so rare back in the days when we were living in jungle, like forest, right? Like
Right,
spotting a ripe fruit was a rare event,
right,
and it was very useful for us to get that sugar hit and get all that
right.
glucose and glycogen to in our body, because it was really useful for us.
Yeah,
Uh, and it was rare, and we were competing with animals and with other humans. So we developed a strong taste for sugar because
right,
we like it so much. And because it was beneficial to us evolutionarily. And now the marketing basically targets that thing, you know. Even pizza has a lot of sugar in it.
Pizza?
And
Yeah.
yeah, and the reason they put it there is because they know that it's addictive.
Mm-hmm.
And then they add a lot of salty stuff to
Right.
get rid of that sugar stuff. So they're adding more salt than required.
Yeah.
And they have sugar, and that's one of the reasons why it tastes so good.
Right.
I think it was a great conversation with you, Jessica, and I think my viewers and all will really, really like it. Thanks a lot from me and from my viewers. Do you have anything to say towards the end?
Yeah, of course. I mean, thank you so much for having me. I hope you guys could understand this well, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it and can take something out of it. And if you guys want to find more of recipes or advice or anything like that, I do have a Twitch channel which I live stream almost every day. It's twitch.tv/yourgreenguru. And I also have an Instagram, which is instagram.com/yourgreenguru, which is, I do a lot of food stuff on there. I do some other stuff, but if you're looking for like mainly food stuff, just, just only look at the context that has the food stuff. I have like very specific titles, like eating healthy on a budget and all of that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. So your green guru is the main thing that is in Twitch and also on Instagram,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, and we hope that you will have a YouTube channel fairly soon.
Yeah,
It's
hopefully.
really popular. YouTube is really popular in India.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and people are really getting more and more health conscious, and food is one of the key parts of that. So,
Yeah.
wish you good luck. Wish you good luck with your various channels,
Thank you.
and I'm going to put these links in the description so people can find it
Okay.
better. Yeah,
That sounds good.
cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.